Ryan Vale had no memory of how his pants ended up draped over the ceremonial flame of unity, but there they were, crackling gently while a six-armed bartender asked if he wanted his drink refilled or extinguished. He blinked. The air smelled like roasted fruit and ozone. Someone nearby was howling in rhythm, and he wasn't entirely sure if it was music or a warning. Maybe both. The Threxeri did love their multi-purpose rituals. The last thing he remembered was raising his hand to volunteer for a drinking contest. Or maybe it was a wedding ceremony. Or maybe it was a staring contest with a 10-foot-tall, fur-covered warrior who told him, "You have strong thighs for a diplomat." In his defense, she said it like a compliment. "You humans are so edible-looking," she'd purred. That probably should have been the warning sign. Now he stood barefoot, shirtless, and possibly infected with 17 types of space pollen, while an amorphous DJ dropped bass so low it registered as a medical emergency on his translator implant. "Unity, right?" he muttered. "Sure," sounded friendly. "Not like something you need a safe word for." To be fair, no one explicitly said it involved psychotropic gases and telepathic licking. That part snuck up on him. A clawed hand slapped his back. "You still stand, little Earth skin. You dance well for a biped." "Thanks, I think," he managed, steadying himself on a vibrating orb of what he hoped was a table and not someone's sentient cousin. "Have we, sealed the trade terms?" "Sealed?" The Threxeri warrior let out a full-bodied laugh. "We sealed much more smoothly. You lasted the right. The she will be pleased." Ryan blinked. "The she? That's not a name. That's a grammatical mystery." No one answered. Instead, a gong sounded, deep, throbbing, inappropriate. A pink mist filled the air, accompanied by chanting in a dialect his translator only partially grasped. Phrases like, "The claiming begins," and "He shall be warmed," flickered across his HUD. He reached for his comm, it was gone. His pants were definitely still on fire. Something heavy bumped into him. A tail? A thigh? A large and affectionate yak? Everything blurred. He grinned just before blacking out. "If this is diplomacy, I deserve a raise." He woke up to the scent of musk and lavender, and the unmistakable pressure of a very large body sprawled across his chest. Very warm. Very furry. And very, very there. "Oh hell no," he whispered. Above him, golden eyes blinked open. Pupils like slits. Breath warm against his face. "Mate," she rumbled. "Excuse me?" he croaked. "You endured the rite. You survived my embrace. Your fluids were compatible. We are bound." He stared at her. Massive, furred, curved horns glinting in morning light. Sharp fangs. And was that a leather harness? Was she purring? "I think there's been a miscommunication." He tried, attempting to shimmy out from under her. No luck. She outweighed him by 3 of himself. "You weren't here last night." "Were you?" "I wasn't you," she said lovingly. He stopped moving. "I mean your mind. Your essence. We merged. You were most energetic." "Energetic," he echoed, brain overheating. "I claimed you. Now I protect. You are my chosen and I your pinner." He blinked. "Pinner?" "Yes. The one who pins. As is tradition. You may be pinned again if you desire. Now or post-meal." He attempted logic. "Listen, Viarkala, was that your name? I'm a junior trade envoy. I'm not authorized for whatever this is." She rolled off him, stretching gloriously like a jungle cat with zero shame. "You danced. You drank. You accepted the rite. You licked the ceremonial stone. That was a candy dish. You mounted the bonding spire. That was a coat rack." She tilted her head. "Semantics. You were enthusiastic." He wrapped a bedsheet around himself and stumbled to the wall console. The suite's AI chirped politely. "AI," Ryan hissed. "Do a full body scan. Confirm if there's, anyone else in this room." "No lifeforms detected besides yourself, sir," it replied. His eye twitched. What about big, tall, horned, furry women with eyes like steel pillars? No such entity currently exists in this suite. He turned to Viarkala. She waved. Am I hallucinating you? He whispered. No, she purred. Only those who have shared the rite can perceive me until we are formally announced to your people. So, I'm engaged to an invisible beastwoman only I can see. You are life-bound, she corrected. And I am not a beast, I am a prime hunter of the Threxeri found blood. Right. Of course. Silly me. She sauntered over, claws clicking. We begin the courting phase now. You shall bring me meats, display your pelvic virility, and prove your loyalty via mild combat. He staggered back. I'm not a mating display bird. I'm a negotiator. She paused. But you negotiated so passionately last night. That wasn't. I was drunk. In our culture, drunken vows are considered more honest. I don't even remember consenting. She nodded solemnly. As is tradition. The rite ensures instinct guides choice. He collapsed into a chair. I'm going to die. On a bed. Clawed to death by love. She crouched beside him, brushing back his hair. Do not fear, mate. I will only bite during celebratory victory. His calm crackled. Vale, barked a voice. Report to the summit room. Your presence is required. And wear pants this time. Viarkala purred. Shall I accompany? No one shall harm my pinner. He groaned. No. Gods no. Don't show up in the middle of a UN-style summit roaring about fluids. She beamed. You remember the fluids? He buried his face in his hands. This is going to end Earth's trade deals, and possibly my sanity. She leaned close. Earth has good tongue. They will forgive. Please never say that again. She tilted her head. Forgive? No, Earth has good tongue. That. Don't ever say that in public. She considered it. What about your hips sang hymns of alliance? He stood. We're leaving. I need pants. And therapy. And possibly a restraining order. She followed, invisible to all but him. Tail swishing happily. You are very strange, Earth male. He sighed. And you're going to be the reason I rewrite the entire Galactic HR manual. Ryan walked into the summit room with the stiffness of a man expecting both jail time and a public undressing. Unfortunately, he got neither. Only the accusing stares of 13 alien delegates and one human supervisor sipping coffee like it was a court-ordered sedative. Mr. Vale, Director Chen said without looking up. Any reason your translator logs contain multiple entries for intergalactic spooning rites and aggressive thigh worship? Ryan opened his mouth. Viarkala, invisible to the room, crouched beside him like a protective panther. This one dares question your honor. Please don't, he whispered. Excuse me? Said Chen. Nothing. He coughed. Dry throat. Delegate Crocs, a floating jellyfish with opinions, rippled irritably. Your human-initiated unauthorized bonding rites with the Threxeri Prime. That constitutes alliance by mating, something your species has not yet qualified for. I didn't initiate anything, Ryan protested. I just survived a party. A sacred rite, Viarkala growled. He danced with fury. He mounted the spire with intent. Ryan muttered. It was a coat rack. Chen's fingers hovered over her datapad. Did you, or did you not engage in activities that could be interpreted as interspecies coupling? It depends how literally you take interpretive dance, he said weakly. Crocs flared purple. The council requires clarity. Has the human performed the claiming ritual of Vr Natal? Viarkala licked her fangs. Oh yes. With enthusiasm. He offered all of himself. In several positions. Ryan groaned. Who are you speaking to? Chen demanded. She's standing right. He stopped. Right. They couldn't see her. The delegate from Aerith, a species resembling sentient coffee tables, clicked sympathetically. Hallucinations are common during Threxeri rites. Once, my cousin married a coat rack for real. Viarkala growled. I am not furniture. Prove she's real. Chin snapped. I can't. Ryan barked. She's only visible to people who've bonded via her rituals. Or got licked by her tongue's spores. Which I'd rather not repeat. That tongue is sacred, Viarkala whispered. I'm begging you, stop saying things that sound hot and terrifying. A guard approached cautiously. Sir, we'll have to escort you for mental screening. Possible possession. Maybe a mild brain parasite. Viarkala stepped between them, still invisible. The guard flinched as his baton snapped in half, seemingly by ghost force. Touch my pinner again and I will decorate the walls with your innards. Ryan forced a smile. So, about those trade deals. Everyone backed away. 10 minutes later, he was in a holding room with a neural inhibitor strapped to his head, Viarkala pacing like a lioness denied her prey. I thought you said this mating bond came with perks, he grumbled. So far I've been accused of mental instability, interspecies assault, and war flirting. She sat on his lap. It was like being sat on by a velvet tank. You denied me before your people, she said, voice wounded. You called me hallucination. That is shameful. I didn't mean to. He groaned. You're great. You're gorgeous. You're built like a freight train with eyes. But you're also invisible. And not a citizen. I am your mate, she said. That is higher. He sighed. I need a solution that doesn't involve fighting 12 diplomats or licking coat racks. You could publicly acknowledge our bond. Make the right known. Then I can manifest to your species. And ruin my career faster than a diplomat at a nude peace summit? She tilted her head. Was that not your last summit? That was involuntary nudity. You seem pleased. That's not the point. She growled low. You make strange rules for love. In Threxeri culture, shame is reserved for those who can't finish. I finished plenty, he snapped, then immediately regretted it. Then you are proud of your performance? No, well, yes. But not like, oh stars, this is a trap. She leaned in, eyes glowing. Your tongue said no. Your hips said treaty. The door hissed open. Chin stood there, expression unreadable. We've reviewed your logs. The part where you shouted, oh gods, yes, pin me harder, my trade routes depend on it was vivid. He slumped. Out of context. She stepped aside. Look. You're not the first envoy to misread a bonding ceremony. But you might be the first whose imaginary girlfriend assaulted a galactic guard. She's not imaginary. He sighed. She's just exclusive access. We've decided to list this as a Class B cultural collision. Which means we can't sanction you, but we're also watching you like a hawk with trust issues. Viarkala whispered. I could remove the hawk. No, Ryan hissed. No removing hawks. Chin sighed. You have 3 days to resolve this. Either complete the bonding ritual officially, or dissolve it and apologize to the Threxeri Prime Council. They might not accept that, Viarkala said. What happens if they don't? Ryan asked. Your people become our in-laws, she said gravely. Earth isn't ready for that much fur, he muttered. As Chin left, Viarkala rested her head on his shoulder. You could simply accept. Stay mine. No more politics. You think this is a choice between love and paperwork? In your culture, is there difference? He laughed, despite himself. You've got a point. But this isn't just about you and me. It's about trade deals, diplomatic standing, not being committed to a psychiatric facility. And you want choice. Yes. She stood. Then I will give it to you. But if you choose me, Earth becomes part of the Found Blood Accord. If you choose politics, I disappear. Like literally? Like myth. He stared at the wall, then at his reflection in the glass. Half-dressed, neural inhibitor on his head, fur clinging to his collarbone. He didn't look like a diplomat anymore. He looked like a man who'd just been pinned by the most powerful force in the galaxy, and didn't hate it. Ryan stood behind the buffet table pretending the crab-legged hors d'oeuvres weren't crawling off the platter. This was supposed to be the smoothest part of interstellar diplomacy: smile, nibble, flatter, don't get licked. He was 2 for 4. Viarkala perched silently behind him, invisible to all but him, arms crossed, watching every alien like she was evaluating their organs for harvest. Occasionally she whispered things like, "That one looks easily disemboweled," or, "This room has too few exits for safe rutting." "Please," Ryan murmured under his breath. "No rutting talk. We're at a peace dinner. Also, keep your claws off the salad drones." "I was testing for poison," she said, licking her fingers. "That was the ambassador's dessert." "Ah. Then he is weak." The Aerith delegate approached Ryan, clicking with concern. "Are you, well? You keep whispering to air." "I'm, meditating. It's a human calming technique. Helps with involuntary bonding and the trauma of being spiritually mounted." "Understood," said the table being, clearly not understanding. "Would you like a therapy cushion?" "No, I've already got someone soft and judgmental pressing against me." Viarkala smiled smugly. The Prime Threxeri representative slammed a clawed hand on the central table. "This meeting convenes under suspicion. The human has not performed the ritual affirmation. His claim may be false. Or offensive. Or both." Ryan stepped forward, throat dry. "Look, I didn't mean to start an alliance through whatever happened. Your people party hard. I may have misread the room. And the coat rack. You groped the mating spire," said the Prime. "I thought it was decorative." "Decorative things don't vibrate and purr, human." Viarkala leaned in. "You purred louder." "Not helping." Delegate Crocs wobbled toward the center. "Per Threxeri law, the bond must be affirmed or denied through ritual combat or planetary migration. We require demonstration of mating capability or lifelong exile." Ryan blinked. "I'm sorry, those were the options." Viarkala nodded solemnly. "Your people have conquered space but not commitment." Ryan looked around the room. Every ambassador was staring at him like he was a sentient meatball being negotiated over. His stomach twisted. He wanted to crawl into a hyperspace rift and vanish. Instead, he opened his mouth. "What if I prove it another way?" The room paused. Crocs rippled. "Speak." "I propose a new human Threxeri ritual. A shared experience combining both traditions. Public. Non-combative. Completely clothed. Ideally." Viarkala narrowed her eyes. "A human challenge?" He nodded. "A trial of compatibility." "And what is this trial?" Ryan took a shaky breath. "I'll cook for her." Gasps all around. Even the furniture being jolted. Viarkala stared. "You would provide me food, by hand?" "Human courtship," he said. "We feed our dates. If they survive the meal, we proceed to other rituals. Some with sauce." Crocs spun. "This is unprecedented." "It's either that," Ryan said, "or I start the mating dance in front of this buffet and traumatize 3 galaxies." A beat of silence. "Approved," the Prime Threxeri said. "But be warned. If your meal displeases her, the bond is voided, and you may be devoured as recompense." Ryan turned pale. "Totally fair." Back in his quarters, Ryan frantically assembled something that looked vaguely like food using alien ingredients, a heat cube, and a translation guide that kept confusing salt with plasma dust. Viarkala watched him from the corner, both amused and hungry. "This is your offering?" "Pan-seared KYR tentacle with a glaze of sweet fire pollen," he said, sweating. "Smells like surrender. It's diplomacy. With seasoning." He plated it. Sprinkled the garnish. Held it out. She took one bite. Closed her eyes. Growled low. He flinched. "Bad growl?" "Hungry growl." "Oh, thank God." She devoured the plate in 2 bites, then tackled him into a couch. "That was foreplay," she growled. No, that was dinner. Same thing. Moments later, they re-entered the summit chamber. Ryan's hair was a mess. His shirt was inside out. Viarkala had bite marks on her shoulders she wore like jewelry. I present, he said breathlessly, the proof of bonding. She enjoyed the meal. Crocs examined Viarkala. Is this true? She fed. She pinned. She conquered. Ryan raised a finger. I'd like to clarify I participated willingly in most of that. The Threxerai Prime stood. Then we acknowledge the union. Earth and Threxerai shall enter Phase 1 bonded accord. Cheers erupted. The delegates clapped, some with hands, others with tentacles, light pulses, or by rhythmically exhaling gas. Chin approached, arms folded. You cooked your way into an intergalactic treaty. He nodded. You said diplomacy was about building bridges. I just did it with grilled tentacles and sex bruises. You also got us 15% off Threxerai mineral exports. That too. Viarkala draped an arm over him. He is efficient. Chin looked tired. Don't get pregnant. I don't want to fill out the hybrid citizenship forms. As the summit closed, Ryan finally breathed. He had survived. He had cooked. He had bonded. And somewhere in the back of the room, a Venusian delegate stared in horror at his own untouched mating spire. Ryan adjusted his diplomatic sash while Viarkala tried to fit into a chair clearly not designed for 7-foot-tall war goddesses. It groaned beneath her weight like it was preparing to confess sins. This summit, she muttered, has too many rules and not enough prey. Welcome to interspecies politics, he said, yanking his sleeves straight. Less blood, more banquets. Her tail knocked over a vase. He caught it mid-fall, placed it upright, and exhaled. Okay. We're just here to finalize the deal, smile politely, and avoid pinning anyone. Not even you? Especially not me. Please. I've got bruises in places I didn't know had nerve endings. She looked smug. That's called bonding. He tried not to smile. It was difficult. She'd started growing on him, like a sexy fungal infection. The terrifying kind you still didn't ask to leave. The council room buzzed. Earth's delegation filed in. The Threxerai Prime took her seat. Viarkala stood behind Ryan, visible now, in ceremonial armor that looked like it had been forged in the heart of a volcano and bedazzled by a bloodthirsty wedding planner. All eyes turned to him. On the veil, the Threxerai Prime declared. Your actions have forged a bond. You have shown your people's resilience, creativity, and capacity to mate under extreme conditions. He cleared his throat. Thank you. Earth prides itself on adaptability. And flexible hips. A few delegates chuckled. One clapped. Another blinked twice, which meant approval in whatever language they were running. Chin looked like she wanted to both kill him and frame him for a promotion. The Prime continued. Per the bonded accord, Earth will share limited trade access and cultural liaisons. Your species is tolerable. Coming from you, that's practically a love letter, he muttered. Viarkala stepped forward. He has proven himself worthy of the right, the hunt, and the oven. I claim him before your laws and mine. Do you accept? The Prime asked. Ryan looked at her. Wild. Lethal. Loyal. He thought about saying no. About walking away. About going back to quiet meetings and paperwork and never again being headbutt during foreplay. Then he nodded. Yeah. I accept. A pulse of energy spread across the room as the ceremonial binding field activated. Light wrapped around his wrist, linking to hers. Data, energy, and symbolism all in one. You are now life-bound, the Prime intoned. You may consummate. Again. We already. Ryan began. We know, the Prime said flatly. The footage has been flagged for cultural reference. He paled. There was footage. Viarkala smirked. Threxerai record rights. For posterity. And training. Training? I wasn't even stretching. The Aerith delegate clacked forward. Human, you have impressed us. We thought your people fragile, prone to internal explosions and emotional flooding. But you endure. Thanks, Ryan said. We try. Chaos is kind of our thing. The Venusian ambassador raised a tendril. Do all humans bond this aggressively? Only on weekends, he replied. There was laughter. Even Shin cracked a smile, though she disguised it behind a fake cough and a very real coffee cup. As the summit adjourned, Viarkala pulled him aside. You made choice. Why? You didn't give me much of one. I offered 2 paths. Yeah. But you made one of them sound like eternal loneliness and the other like you. She tilted her head. Do you regret? He looked at her. You're a giant, invisible to most warrior with a mating bite that'll probably scar me permanently. But you also risked everything to defend me in a room full of aliens who thought I'd lost my mind. She said nothing. I don't regret it, he said. She kissed his forehead. You are mine. I'm yours. With conditions. Like pants in public. And no threatening waiters. Deal. As they exited, reporters swarmed. Cameras flashed. 1,000 languages asked the same question. Why him? He smirked. Because humanity adapts. We survive. We charm. We confuse the hell out of everything we touch, and sometimes, we accidentally seduce warrior queens. Someone shouted. What's your title now? He paused. Ambassador of Intergalactic Relations. Viarkala leaned close. And Pinner-in-Chief. Reporters scribbled frantically. Later that night, back in their suite, Ryan sat shirtless, sipping something green and smoky while Viarkala sharpened her claws. Tomorrow, she said, we begin your warrior training. I thought we were diplomats. You represent Earth now. Diplomats get challenged. You must know how to duel. I can throw words like daggers. Daggers are better. He sighed. Fine. But I get to pick the workout music. She raised an eyebrow. What is Eye of the Tiger? You'll love it. A pause. You did good, she said. So did you. You didn't break anyone's spine today. I wanted to. I know. He stood, walked over, and held out his hand. Come on. One more dance. This time without rituals, politics, or flaming pants. She grinned. But with pinning? We'll negotiate. As the stars turned slowly outside the station's window, the first Earth-Threxerai Accord was signed. Not by force, or conquest, or war. But by a hungover envoy who cooked, danced, and survived one hell of a misunderstanding. Humanity, once again, had fumbled its way to victory. And Ryan Vale, the diplomat with no pants and too much heart, had finally made peace with being someone's favorite mistake.